It was the hottest game in the city a few years ago when the Leafs were a tire fire. We were playing it basically every day. What's your level of concern that Peter Horacek is the coach right now? But we're gonna apply this to the Edmonton Oilers. We'll get your take on this because they lost last night. They have not looked very good through 2 games. They're in New York tomorrow. Then they go to Winnipeg. Then they're finally home, and the games that they play at home, Boston, Nashville, Pittsburgh, Washington, and then on the road for a back-to-back at Nashville, at Chicago. What's your level of concern if you're the Oilers right now that you may start the season like 2-8?
How are we rating this? Like out of 10?
Well, O can take you through the
6-pack, 12-pack, 24-pack.
Yeah, there's the level of concern. It goes with a couple of beers, a 6-pack, a 12-pack, a 24-pack, and then there's
the Natty Light 77-pack.
The 77-pack, and then there's Nick Cage in Vegas.
I'll go with 12.
12-pack?
Yeah.
That's a pretty good night.
Their D's not going to get any better in the next couple of days. Their right side is still going to be completely inexperienced. They appear to be not a one-line team, a one-person team offensively. Yeah, there's. I mean, they lose 2 games, it's fine, but it's the way they lose, right, that makes it concerning.
Yeah, game
like
1 was McDavid. McDavid 2 assists, and then game 2 it's like McDavid great goal, and then there's not a whole lot else.
You know, so that's what I mean. Those are the concerning points for me. I don't. That's not an easy schedule. That's for sure. At home. Maybe they play better at home when they're terrified of getting their lunch handed to them. Like maybe they do play better at home. I mean, I'm sure they're going to have to hope for that.
Well, I mean, Todd McClellan's got to be hitting the LCBO or whatever the equivalent is in Alberta.
He's close to being Nick Cage.
Yeah, because, I mean, fairly or unfairly, in Vegas, I'd be shocked if there was anyone ahead of him in terms of the odds for the first coach that's going to go. And if they start 2-8, I mean, what else can you do? I mean, they didn't make any moves over the offseason because of the cap, and everything went against them last year, and they're banking on a wave of positivity this year, which I can understand.
But, you can?
Well, listen.
I'm a
because I can't. This is why I can't, Brian, is they missed the playoffs, 7-8 years in a row? They made the playoffs, and then they missed. So what makes you think that the making the playoffs was the norm? That's the outlier year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, McDavid won the Art Ross both years, but like, are they don't. I don't know. When I look at them, I don't go, oh, yeah, that's a playoff team. I go, man, they got a lot of holes there.
Well, for me, the goalie can play better. Their D can play better. Like Adam Larson was brutal last year and had personal issues, obviously, with his father passing. Lucic was brutal last year. Strome didn't settle in. Like, there's a lot of like guys that need to play better up to their potential, and then you see what you have. Like Puljujarvi, Jesse Puljujarvi. Mm-hmm. That's a 4th overall pick. At some point, the light's either got to go on or there's no light there. Like some of the things.
I think is they got to. Okay, you got this kid. You want to develop him, and so they play him a game up with Draisaitl, and then the next game he's on the 4th line. Like, give him 5 games. Like, let him not be terrified, or let him figure out what the hell he's supposed to do. Because you guys know when we got yanked all over the lineup, it sucked.
Well, he was.
You're trying to do
yesterday.
something you're not.
He wasn't very good yesterday. I think they played him 10 minutes yesterday. He looked. That team, like that Bouchard kid, looks like he'll be all right, but he looks like a junior kid right now, where he should be.
Right, he's 18.
But that's what they've got right now. And to me, guys have to either turn the corner, or you not move past him. But that right side, that Yamamoto, he looks like. He's smaller than Mitch Marner looked when Mitch Marner first started. Mm-hmm. Now, Mitch Marner's bigger than people think. That's the one thing. I think that's a misnomer. I think
he's taller than you think.
Yes, when Marner skates and when he first started, you're like, this guy is 5'6", but he's not. He's taller and he's starting to get stronger. Yamamoto looks like he's borrowed somebody's gear.
Right.
So the rest of the right side is Cassian, Puljujarvi, and Ty Rattie.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Like, that's not a very good right side.
No.
They've got no experience. The one guy that has experience is Cassian.
Yep. He's farther down in your lineup.
And
anyway.
you look at the way that McLennan is dispersing minutes, albeit it's 2 games and separated by a week, so guys are fresh. But McDavid played almost 24 minutes last night. Nugent Hopkins, I think, played close to 23. Draisaitl hit plus 20. And then Lucic was around almost 18. No one else hit 15. Like, it's basically McClellan's like, I got 4 guys I think I can play, and then I don't know what else I'm supposed to do.
But yeah, they hadn't played, and they've played 2 games in 3 weeks.
No, I know, but I
play them.
don't think it's a smart strategy. Like, I would get McDavid out 20 minutes a night, 24 minutes like that. At some point, you got to rely. You have to have some depth that you can play.
Yeah,
like you've got to. You can't have 3 guys playing 23 minutes and then the rest of the team barely playing.
I still. No, sorry, Ray. Go ahead.
Though. Pitt does it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Pitt plays their big boys a lot. Crosby, Malkin, Letang, they play a lot. And so maybe that's what he thinks he's got. I mean, when, Jamie mentioned Strome before, and, they tried him on right wing. Now he's back in the middle, and he's at a point where, you got to be a real player, or there's going to always be questions that dog you. That's kind of where he is.
Still comes back to the goalie for me. Cam Talbot has to be what he's capable of, if that's what he's capable of.
But what is he capable of? Are you saying he's got to be 93%?
No, but he's got to be. He
better,
can't be. He's got.
Right?
If he plays to his career save percentage average, that's all. Like.
But what is that average, though? Because he's kind of a microcosm of the Oilers, based on the way that Ray just detailed it. He was a backup his whole career. Finally gets a chance to start 73 games, an unbelievable season. And then the next year he's brutal. No, but it's like, what is he?
The second season, so his first season was inconsistent, and from January on was excellent. Then the 73, then last year.
So then even more of an outlier, the one season he had, where he was really, really solid.
There's about 18 months where he was elite.
But, is that what he is? Or
that's where you're trying to. That's what I was saying to off air. You got to figure out what this guy is. Because he's going to be unrestricted this summer. He's playing for a contract. Like, that's to me, it all stems in goal. We all know that if you have confidence in the guy back there, you can make saves. Look at Chicago. I love Jeff Glass. I love Forsberg. Those guys, they didn't get it done in Chicago. LA's running Jack Campbell, and I know Jack's a good guy and worked very hard with Dusty Emu, their number 2 goalie coach there. But at some point, if Quick's gone for months on end here, LA's going to have a dip. Like, that's you're looking at stability in the net, and I don't see any stability from Cam Talbot right now.
Well, it feels like deja vu for the Oilers.
If
like
it's
that,
the same
and
as
that's
last year.
Got to be terrifying for them.